Number 7. So number 7 was an interesting
This
one.
one was cool.
Yeah. So green nitrogen fixation. That's not fixation on nitrogen. It's actually fixing nitrogen. Reimagining ammonia production for a net zero future.
Why do we care about making ammonia?
Because of fertilizers.
Ah.
So the really intriguing thing here is you look at the world at the moment, 8 billion people, and the only way the world can sustain as many people as this is because we have artificial fertilizers that allow us to grow the sort of crops that we need. Without the green revolution of the past and artificial fertilizers, we would not be able to do this.
Yeah.
But it is hard. And it is not particularly sustainable.
Yeah.
How we actually sort of fix nitrogen into ammonia and ways that we can actually sort of use it as a fertilizer and use it productively. Yeah, struggling with it. Now I'm struggling with words this week. So now this is beginning to look at new technologies that allow us to take the nitrogen in the atmosphere, which is incredibly sort of available. There's a lot of it there.
Yeah.
But then sort of transform it into
most of our atmosphere. It's most of our breathable air.
Most of our breathable
71%,
yes.
something like that.
But this is looking at emerging technologies that allow us to take that and convert it into a form that we can actually use productively to actually grow stuff.
Yeah, no, that's wild. I mean, I jotted down some notes right off the report,
Yeah.
which I didn't realize that this industry of nitrogen fixation is a $200 billion market in the U.S. alone.
Right.
Not worldwide, just the U.S.
And so just on that point, and this is something
$200 billion.
So many people forget this, that when we're talking about emerging and transformative technologies, it's almost always the things that you've never heard of that have the biggest impact.
Yeah, and to put it in perspective, right, that market is creating something on the scale, it says here, 150 million tons per year of ammonia, which is used to produce roughly 50% of the world's food production. 50%.
Yeah.
So when it's like, again, so when my first question of like, who needs this ammonia? It's like, yeah, we will starve without it.
That's exactly it.
50% at present. Right. And so, yeah, like being able to do this in a way that makes it more sustainable, less energy, all the removing the friction from the fixation. Finally.
How long did it take you to come up with that one?
Longer than I'd care to ever admit. But no, I think that's one of those things that's incredible. And again, one of the things when you read this, for me, I'm like, I'd much rather hear about this than AI. Right. Like this is where you're like, yes, because
this is where the rubber hits the
road.
And
again, coming back to this idea, right? This is where you have that you're setting up action, right? So it's not just, oh, there's this sexy new thing and how cool, and we can all pretend like, wow. It's like, no, this is a real thing impacting 50% of the world's food population or production. And now, like, how do we move this forward, and how do we move this from idea to action to market? And because I mean, out of this list too, you're like, well, that one might be in terms of immediate benefit to humans. You're like, pin that to the top. Right.
Yep.
Crazy.
And which is a good place to say that this really isn't an order of priority. Sort of the number one wasn't the most important one.